Hi everyone, welcome back to the Stitches and Scribbles channel. My name is Erin and I'm doing another Faire Get Ready With Me video this week. So my Get Ready With Me videos are different than ones that are typically on YouTube. Instead of just filming the day of when I'm getting into costume, I also show you all the last minute DIYs I'm doing in the days leading up to the event. So today is Thursday and I am going to the Renaissance Fair on Sunday, and I have a new costume that I have a couple of things that I need to finish up in order for it all to be ready. I figured I'd start this video by showing you kind of what I've already got, including a new costume piece that I purchased. You can hear my lovely crinkly plastic there. But I decided for this Renaissance Fair that I wanted to do a butterfly inspired costume, but not a fairy. I think I'm going kind of more in the elf direction. Because I will have elf ears as part of this costume, but I wanted a butterfly costume that did not include wearing actual butterfly wings. So kind of a weird premise, but I'm really excited to put this costume all together. So I'll start by showing you what I already have in my kind of DIY supply bin, as well as the piece that I just purchased. So the first two items are going to be previous videos that you will have already seen by the time this comes out. But this is the first DIY I did for this costume. This is a small crocheted dragon with felt butterfly wings. I used a stiff felt to make these. And that is a vlog by itself on my channel, as I think I just said, maybe. So you can go check that out if you want more information on how I made this. It should be it should be in my Renaissance Fair playlist on my channel. So get this little guy. I'm going to be pinning him to my costume so that he sits on my shoulders to kind of keep an eye on everything as we walk around the fair. The second item that I already made is a belt pouch. I like using belt pouches for the Renaissance Fair so that I can be hands-free throughout the day and not have to worry about holding on to a purse or a wallet or anything like that. I just put everything inside my belt pouch. It has a track on the back to feed a belt through. It has one big main compartment, and this white patch with the butterfly on it is also a pocket. This is also its own vlog on my channel that you can find in the Renaissance Fair playlist. And I did my computer's making funny noises. I did part of this DIY already when I did my mushroom Get Ready With Me. But these are the elf ears I'm going to use. I already did a base coat of paint that was a little bit closer to my skin tone than the original. And I did that in my mushroom Get Ready With Me video because I was already mixing the paint colors for this. But I do want to add some butterfly elements to these in order to wear them for the costume. Now let's dive into some of the DIYs that I have planned. So I purchased these little butterflies. I think I'm just going to use these as hair clips, so not actually in a DIY, but you'll see them show up later in the video. And then I also have lots of butterfly wing charms and beads. I have these big ones I got from Hobby Lobby, these small ones I got from Hobby Lobby, and then I ended up finding them on Amazon as well, so I also have a bag of wings that are similar to these small ones. I think there's a couple additional colors in here, but I will probably be making some jewelry with those. And I think that's it in my bin except for the new piece I purchased. So I already have a black skirt for Renaissance Fair costumes, as well as a black set of stays corset situation, but I needed a black top for this costume, so I ordered this one from Amazon, and I specifically was looking for one that had dramatic sleeves. So they showed it as an off-the-shoulder top, but in a lot of the reviews I saw that it actually sits on your shoulders pretty well, which is what I prefer. And then I picked this one because of the big dramatic sleeves. This looks awesome, but very wrinkly, so I'm probably going to have to hang it in the bathroom while I take a shower or steam it before I wear it, but I'm very excited for that. So I think my plan for today in terms of DIYs is going to be to start painting my ears and make some of the jewelry to go with this costume. And I say start painting the ears because I kind of want to do multiple layers. So I'm going to have to let it dry between layers and possibly overnight depending on time frame. But let's go ahead and dive into the painting and some of the jewelry making. Alright, it's voiceover Erin here. I started off by painting the edges of my ears orange, and then I kind of feathered out that line between the two colors so that I wouldn't get a harsh transition. After that, I switched over to making my jewelry while things dried. I made 2 pairs of earrings, one with the big pair of butterfly wing charms I got, and one with a small pair that had kind of a red, yellow, orange gradient to it. Then I went back to my ears with some black paint and did this design on the edge. I did do this on both the front and the back, and it was supposed to mimic the shape on the edges of monarch butterfly wings. Then I finished off with some white dots, and that was it for the ears. Alright, I'm really glad that I didn't plan any other last minute DIYs because the week definitely got away from me. I did finish painting my ears as you saw in the video, and I finished the jewelry I had planned on making. It's now Saturday night, so the night before going to the Renaissance Fair, and the only thing I had left to do was my nails, but I think to keep it simple, I'm just going to do this metallic orange color that I have. This is a really old nail polish. I think I got it while I was in college. It was when Revlon did a Spider-Man collaboration. So these are, and it was an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie. So these are old, but I'm just going to paint my nails and then go to bed because I have to get up early tomorrow. Alright, it is Ren Fair Day, so I laid out my costume. I have my black blouse that I showed earlier on the video. I have my set of stays. The green part won't show, they're actually reversible, so they'll just be black. And I have my skirt as well. I have the earrings that I made and the belt pouch from the previous video. I also have another pouch I'm taking with me. It actually holds a flask inside, but I use it just to make sure I have a little bit of water on me. I have my little dragon friend, my extra butterflies, and of course the ears. You'll notice the orange nail polish has disappeared. Turns out 10-year-old nail polish doesn't dry very well, so I ended up having to take it off, and we'll just go without it for this costume. But let's go ahead and get ready. For my hair, I started by pulling everything up into a high ponytail. I wanted to do a kind of sleek updo because I knew it was going to be really, really hot that day, so I wanted to make sure that all of my hair was off of my neck. I did pull down a few face framing pieces in the front, partially to kind of disguise the ears, but this didn't work as well as my normal method for doing this. I then pinned butterflies in and around the bun, and again adjusted those front pieces for my ears. I put the ears in and then ended up having to take them out in order to put the earrings in, so you'll see them kind of go off and on in the next couple clips. I kept my makeup pretty simple, and I'm sorry this ended up being kind of off screen. I discovered it's very hard to do your makeup while staying on camera, but I just did black eyeliner on my top lid, orange eyeliner on the bottom, and some black mascara to finish it off. Then I went ahead and re-added those final accessories in order to complete my look. For the fair itself, we started off with lunch and some music, and then I had to take a quick selfie to show off my little dragon friend. I was lucky to have a friend with me to take some photos and video clips so that you could see the full costume together. I really liked how this costume turned out, but you can tell it was really, really hot out, and I was sunburned from a day at the lake the day before. One of the things I noticed looking back at these video clips is just how empty the park looks. I think this was purely because of how hot out it was, but it also gave me a good opportunity to kind of show you some of my favorite spots within the park. All right, I wanted to hop on real quick and kind of explain what's going on in this video. So at this point in the video, you would have seen my process of getting ready and a couple clips from the actual Renaissance Fair, but I kind of made some changes to what I want to do with this video and with the costume. So first of all, while I was getting ready, was definitely trying to like make things easier on myself because I knew that that day was going to be so hot. So the hairstyle I picked wasn't what I originally had in mind. I was looking for something that was easy to do and more importantly easy to take out at the end of the day. And I also really minimized the makeup that I did, although I liked how it turned out, so I think I would actually keep that the same. And also, we didn't stay at the Renaissance Fair for very long just because of how incredibly hot it was that day. It did get hotter throughout the rest of the week. So my friend and I were only there for like 2 or 3 hours, which was fine. We didn't feel like we wasted our money on tickets or anything. We still did plenty of fun stuff in that 2 hours, but we were definitely ready to go much more quickly than we usually are. But I'm actually going again this coming weekend. It's Thursday after the previous. I went to the Renaissance Fair on Sunday. It is now Thursday. I am going again on Saturday, so in 2 days. And because this week turned out really busy and I didn't really want to make a new costume this week anyway, I decided to give my butterfly costume another chance. So this is a 2-for-1 get ready with me video, I guess, because I'm going to try again this weekend. I think I'm going to try to do a more intricate hairstyle. It's going to be a lot cooler this weekend. It's only supposed to be like 75 degrees on Saturday instead of, I think it was 92 last weekend. So I can do some more fun stuff with my hair. I think that's the only thing I'm going to change. I actually liked how the makeup turned out, so I'll probably do that the same way. But I'm hoping to get a couple more clips in the actual Renaissance Fair again. And those will be filmed on my phone, so you'll see them vertically in the clips. But yeah, just wanted to hop on and explain kind of what you're going to see next in the video, because it is very much a repeat of the previous costume. I just wanted to give it another try and see how I would change things. So let's dive into that. I will see you on Saturday when I start getting ready. Here we go again. Starting off with hair, I did a half updo, leaving most of the hair in front of my ears as well as around the base of my neck down. I then brushed that out and did 2 braids going down my hairline on either side, and these were for hiding where the elf ears sit on my real ears. That sentence made sense. If you can see me talking in the video, it's because I had a friend getting ready with me and we were just kind of chatting as I was getting ready. I also made sure to fluff out those braids in the front to give them a little bit more volume, which is what I'm doing in this clip. My hair's gotten so long that you can't actually see the ends of it when I do it on camera. Here's that second Dutch braid going down the other side. I just made sure to incorporate all of the hair from in front of my ears and left everything out in the back. Then I went ahead and braided that ponytail I sectioned off earlier, and I ended up making a braided bun with this section to kind of give a little bit more dimension to my hair. And I also fluffed this braid out by pulling on each individual section. I had to keep walking back and forth because I had the bobby pins sitting on the bed behind me. Then with the remaining hair, I did a French braid starting just under that bun and incorporating both of the braids from the sides. And once I was done with this braid, I also fluffed out each section to give it some more volume and make it look a little bit bigger than it actually is. This is what it looked like put together. I clipped in the butterflies off camera, but you can see them here. I really like how this turned out. And here's my full costume again, just from a different location in the park. Again, I was lucky to have a friend to help me take some pictures. And it wouldn't be complete without a dragon selfie. We had a lot of fun watching some of the shows on this day. This was one of the acrobat shows. And I ended up going for a walk around the park at one point, so I got to see some scenery that I don't normally see. I was hanging out kind of in the Queen's Village area. I don't remember what it's called. And I liked seeing some of the actors just chatting and hanging out between shows. Hi everyone, I'm back in my Yarny office and I figured I'd just kind of share some things about my Ren Fair experience with you since you kind of saw it all play out on camera. So I am really happy with how the final costume turned out, but there are definitely some things that I wish I had thought about before doing the Ren Fair, especially on the really hot day, and I figured I'd just kind of share those things with you. This is my first year of doing like very intense costumes for the Renaissance Fair. I've been doing costumes for a few years, but I started off with like store-bought ones and like simpler things or costumes where there wasn't really an overarching theme. I was just kind of like putting all of my Ren Fair stuff together. Other than, I think 2 years ago, I did my first crochet bodice. This was the first year where my intent was to really like showcase my knit and crochet pieces in the form of Ren Fair costumes. So some things that I kind of wish I had done differently. Number one, if you are, and this is true for any outdoor event, if you are planning on an all-day outdoor event when it's very hot out, do not put yourself in a position where you're going to get sunburned the day before. I should have been more careful with sunscreen the day before the first round of Ren Fair because I am very sunburned in the video, I'm sure you can tell. And that made the heat that day even worse. It wasn't even so much that the heat was bothering me more, but the shirt I wore for my costume had like ruffles around the neckline and those were sitting exactly where my sunburn was. So that's definitely something I would do differently. And just be careful with sunburn in general, but especially if you're going to be wearing a potentially itchy, warm costume on a hot day, like make sure you're not sunburned before you go. The second thing that kind of goes with that was an adjustment I made, but I actually liked how it looked, so I kept it. But if you are planning costumes with makeup or face paint, go really minimal on days when it's going to be really hot because you're going to sweat most of it off anyway. If you go back and watch my mushroom costume video, I did like spots on my face and more, I don't want to say intense makeup because it actually was pretty light in the final product, but like higher coverage face makeup. Make sure that you're going to be able to stay cool and comfortable and not be so worried about like not touching your face. I think the minimal makeup I did for the butterfly costume turned out really good because I was still able to like wipe sweat off of my face. I know that's gross. Without worrying about disturbing the makeup that I had done or anything like that. Other thing that I would keep in mind for the future is really being aware of what fabrics my costumes are made out of. So I realized part of the reason that I was so hot the day that it was really warm out is that the shirt that I bought is almost 100% polyester, which is very, very warm. And it was also black. So if I was going to kind of redo this experience again, I probably would have picked a cooler, lighter color, natural fiber set of costume pieces for the day that it was really hot out, and I would have saved the almost all black butterfly look for the second day I went, which was actually only like 72 degrees or something like that. In general, when I make yarny pieces for costumes, I make sure that they're made of cotton if it's something that's going to be against my skin. So like the crochet bodices that I've made in the past have all been cotton. The shawl that I added to my butterfly costume was cotton. The little dragon was acrylic, but that one didn't really matter as much. So definitely be aware of like what materials your costume pieces are made out of, because it could make a really big difference in terms of your comfort level during the actual event. And lastly, this was like a positive thing that I've noticed in my last couple of costumes. Having a little like shoulder animal or creature or something gets me stopped by a lot of people who ask how it was made, where I got it from, all sorts of stuff like that. I didn't realize that was going to become such a key costume piece for me, but it almost felt like after this year that that's sort of my like signature thing for costumes. I had my little mushroom guy when I did my mushroom costume, and then of course the butterfly dragon for the butterfly costume. I do have a like store-bought dragon puppet that I've used before that sits on my shoulder, but I think that's just going to be a permanent addition to how I do Ren Fair costumes. It's also a great way to add in a crocheted piece without like adding another clothing item, if that makes sense. The other thing I would highly recommend if you're a knitter or a crocheter is adding a shawl to your costumes is a really great way to showcase your work. Not necessarily to wear it over your shoulders like a traditional shawl, but to add it to your skirt by tying it around your waist, which I did with my butterfly costume, and I've definitely done that in the past as well. And with that, I think I'm going to wrap up this video. I had such a fun experience with both Ren Fair trips, even though the first one was very hot and sweaty. I still had fun with my friends. And I hope you enjoyed seeing the kind of trial and error of this costume design wearing process. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in following me on other forms of social media, that information will be in the description box below. And if you liked what you saw today, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And if you could, also hit the like button and leave a comment down below with any of your questions or things that you want to tell me. It really helps get my video out to more people. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!